I'm going to show you how to uninstall a GPS tracker from your car. I have a Toyota Tacoma, probably works for any Toyota, probably any car. I'm sure most of them are this style. First, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the background on this, but if you want to skip straight to the install, just skip to that. I'll put the chapters in the video. Okay. Also, quick note on that, ignore all the stuff I say about tearing your dash apart. You don't have to do any of that. You can just reach under and get it. All you need is a pair of scissors. Okay, so just ignore my complaining. This is what's called an ELO GPS. All right, that's one company. I'm sure there are other companies. You might have this on your car installed by a dealer without your knowledge, okay? That's becoming more and more common. But you might also have it installed voluntarily. So technically in my situation, I opted into this. It's a hassle these days. Dealers, I mean, everything's overpriced. MSRP is overpriced, and then dealers charge markups and just ridiculous add-ons and stuff. So it was a whole thing to find my truck. I finally found a dealer with my truck, and they didn't have a markup, but guess what? They have dealer add-ons. This one, their whole business plan now is just non-negotiable add-ons. So I knew this was on the truck. I told them I didn't want it, but they absolutely will not sell you the car without some type of add-on. Okay, it's just their form of a markup. It's how they quote unquote make their money. Eat my ass, but anyway. So I had to buy it. I figured whatever, the extra money I paid for this add-on was way less than other dealers were charging for markups. So whatever, I had it. This whole time I knew it was on the truck. I made them tell me where it was so I could go and uninstall it if I wanted. But given I paid for it, I did try downloading the app so I could use it. And the whole thing with this was, yeah, I guess the utility would be if your car is stolen, you can find it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess if you're lost and you're stranded somewhere, somehow with no cell data off-road, you might be able to get someone to find you through this GPS, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I don't know. I don't care. I left it on. I mean, it was definitely tracking me anyway, even if I didn't have the app and look at it. And I want to be really clear about this. This is a sophisticated device. It is surprising how thorough and detailed the data tracking is. I mean, it is like every single day, every day it has your data. It shows you on the map exactly the path that you took, exactly what time you left point A and point B. Like it knows your odometer reading at every point because it's through the ODB. It knows, it knows how many miles you traveled. I mean, it's freaky, okay? And I mean, look, if you personally think it's cool to have this information, it might be cool for you to look at that. And I don't disagree with that. It honestly is cool to have all this data about yourself. But that is not the problem. Obviously, the problem is someone else having this data. So first of all, you don't even like fully own it. When you buy this, they give you, I think it was like a 2 or 3 year subscription. And then this would have bricked in 3 years anyway. I would have no longer been able to use the app and access my own data. And what's funny about that is I'm sure they would not have stopped actually tracking me in 3 years. It's just I would have lost access to my own data in 3 years and would have had to pay for a further subscription to even see the data that they're collecting from my truck. But finally, I don't know what got me thinking about it again recently, but something got me thinking, oh, you know what it is? It's because Toyota themselves will track your data through the truck, through the, what's it called, the DCM? Yeah, something on the truck where like Toyota will collect their own data. And I was thinking about that, and I went back and made sure that I had opted out of all of that. And then it reminded me of this, and I went down this whole rabbit hole. I'm on the ELO website, and I read their privacy policy in detail, okay? They explicitly say in their privacy policy, they sell your data. They give it away. They give it to other third parties. They give away specifics like, I mean, essentially everything I already described. Your mileage, your driving habits, your location, the time of day. I'm sure they have like speedometer data somehow or speed data, but essentially, and they specifically say that pursuant to all these laws, California laws, they are giving your data to insurance companies. I mean, we all kind of already knew this, but they are giving your data away to dealerships so that the dealerships can reach out to you based on your odometer probably and try to get you to schedule service. They're selling your data to insurance companies for their own benefit. It specifically says that they may give your data to other companies for those companies' benefits. So insurance companies can get your driving data and then try to raise your rates, obviously. And it's all right there in the privacy policy. They explicitly say it. They're just giving your shit away. So I don't care. I mean, obviously it's horrendous that I had to pay for this, but any potential novelty that this could possibly have for me, I do not care. It's out the window. It's useless. This is a scam. I mean, you're being data mined, you're being stolen from, you're being manipulated, and they're using this information not only like not in your best interest, like opposed to your best interest. This is against your best interests. This will literally cost you money. So this is horrible. So I just ripped mine out, obviously. I made a bigger stink of it than I needed to. It's actually not hard. You don't need to rip any of the dash apart. Super easy to access. It's just way back up in there. All you need is a pair of scissors, snip a zip tie, which is how mine was tied up, and then unplug this thing from the ODB, then just slot your ODB back where it belongs. And you can even see like, oh yeah, it just blinked. So this thing is still on. There's probably a little battery in here. This was plugged in, that little socket had this guy plugged in. So honestly, you probably could just unplug this thing and leave. This is just extra wiring that you could just leave in there if you were super lazy, but may as well rip this out as far as I'm concerned. This is trash. I'm really not happy about this. I'll probably burn it, destroy it, smash it, whatever. But yeah, let me know if this was helpful in any way. And let me know if you guys have had different experiences, or if you've got any helpful tips or comments, drop them in the description for people. I'm about to show you how to remove any kind of GPS tracker from your car. I've got a Toyota Tacoma, so any kind of GPS tracking unit that you have. This one is called ELO GPS. So on my 3rd gen Tacoma, first I had to remove, now this isn't strictly necessary, I had to remove this panel right here so I could remove this panel, and then from there I wanted to remove this lower piece under the dash. Turns out I didn't really need to do any of that. You still just have to go way under, and removing this lower panel doesn't really help you. I do think that removing the side panel helped a little bit, just in terms of general visibility and kind of looking at all the wiring, and making sure I understood what was going on. But honestly, you probably don't have to remove any of this. You can probably just reach underneath and look. So what I just yoinked out was this guy. I don't know what any of these numbers mean. It's a certain part number, but I'm guessing that this is the GPS unit. So the OBD port on a 2023 Tacoma is supposed to be white. Okay, the connector is white, and maybe that's true for all cars, I don't know, but it's definitely supposed to be white in this truck. And then if you look under, you will see that there is a black connector. Wow, see, you gotta go way under. Oh, sorry, right here. Right there. So that is not the factory OEM native OBD port. It's not. It's this thing. So this wire, this guy goes up and it's connecting there, and then the actual OBD connector is right here. Okay, it's the white thing. So this was installed. All right, this was sort of daisy chained in the loop, and this is the GPS unit. You can see this zip tie that I just cut off. It was just zip tied way up there, connected to some of my truck's wiring. I had to completely lay on my back with, I don't know where I put my scissors, but I got some scissors. You could use wire strippers, clippers, whatever. I was way up in there. It was super uncomfortable. I could barely fit my head, shoulders, and hands in there to get this guy out. All right, basically it was hidden way back up in here, pretty much as far up and hidden underneath your dash. Like, this is my brake pedal right here, and it's just way back up in here. And it was, oh, you can actually still see one of the zip ties. It was zip tied right where that thing is hanging onto that wiring, which is probably something, you know, super important, some vital part of my vehicle, right? And it was just hanging there. At first I thought it was wired in there and there was a lot more I was gonna have to do, but no, it was just zip tied onto it, just strapped there just to hide it. Yeah, this is the BS thing that is not the real OBD port. And then the white guy, that is my OBD port. And you can see sort of the fork. This thing goes to the GPS. This thing is going to where the port is supposed to be. So when I unplug this, I can just put the white thing back where it goes. That only took about another 2 minutes just to kind of weasel my way under there. Make sure I had it all oriented correctly, and it popped right in, almost like it was designed to be there. The one thing that pissed me off is there's like some tape, some kind of electrical tape that's supposed to be wrapped around kind of the bunch of wires that leads to this connector, and they like unpeeled the tape a little bit when they installed that GPS thing, so that was annoying. I was just trying to get the tape situated and try to seal it up back around the wire as best I could. Whole thing pisses me off. Anyway, yeah, I think my only regret here, this was super easy to do. My only regret here is I didn't do it sooner. I've been driving my truck for 2 years and just thinking, oh, okay, well, I paid for it, may as well use it. And I don't think it's worth it. They got 2 years worth of my data. My insurance is probably gonna be higher than it needs to be. People who I don't know where I am and are trying to get me to come to their shop and all this stuff. I just took my little like eyeglasses screwdriver, and there was a tiny screw in here. Open this guy up, just slides off. There is a battery, it looks like, and a SIM card. So first of all, even though this thing is unplugged, this light blinks every once in a while. Obviously it's battery powered, probably for when your car is off. Now you could either rip the battery out, or because the SIM card is conveniently right here, I think I'm just gonna take the SIM card out right now, and that should finally disable this thing for good, without having to cut the power. So that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, I guess if you wanted, just so you were aware, if you wanted the easiest possible uninstall, and you didn't even want to remove all that stuff, you could probably still have to cut a zip tie to free this thing up, but then you could just unplug this thing from this connector, and then once this is removed from the car, you could just open this up, pop the SIM card out, and then it should be good. And then it, you know, as far as finally destroying your data, as long as you destroy that, it should be inaccessible. So anyway, that's it. If you follow this video, if you do it right, it should take you no more than 10 minutes. Should be really easy, so please give it a try. Hope this helps. And again, thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day.